Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to Desert Adventures in Arizona. We get set up here. Hope everybody is doing well this morning. We are back at home base here in the Ironwood Forest National Monument. We just got back from Quartzsite a couple of days ago. Got everything packed away, washed, cleaned up, getting ready for the next trip. Thanks, Ava Potterfield and friends, for shouting us out. Also, Grandma Kelly, whose live is just preceding mine. Ava has a live first thing in the morning. Then we go see Grandma Kelly, and then my live is, of course, now. And then we have Ron Darrow Adventures, and then at 11 o'clock Arizona time we have Roy and Becky's Travels. So be sure to check them out. Let's see who's in the chat this morning. We have Small Town Tourist, my neighbor from Mesa, Arizona. Good morning. Good morning. We have Step Van Dan. Good morning, Dan. Hope you're staying warm up there. Dan's working on some coffee. Ooh, third pot. Yummy, yummy. Good coffee. Coffee is good on a cold morning for sure. We have RG Homestead here. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you for joining us. Another neighbor from up north. See who else we have here. We have Alice Wonderland. Good morning, Alice. Hello, hello. Thank you for joining us this morning. Hope you're doing well. Ava Potterfield is here. Good morning, Ava. Ava's working on laundry today. Monday is laundry day for us too, and so that's what Oki's working on this morning. We have Tim from Mo Bang for Your Bucks, channel member. Thank you for being here, Tim. Roy and Becky's Travels, another channel member here. Thank you for being here. Everybody's saying hello. So the bot's running. Any channel members that want to post a link to their channel, just put an exclamation point, type your channel name all in lowercase, and it should work. We have Diane Phoenix. Good morning, Diane. Thanks for being here. One of the best moderators in the business. We have New York Gal, Florida Heart. Love that channel name. Good morning. Good morning. Hope you're doing well. Ooh, that's cold up there. Too cold for me. We have CR View in the house. Good morning, Tim, Gracie, and Crystal. Good morning. Good morning. We have the Drunken Barbecue Chef. Oh, Drunken Chef Barbecue is here. Good morning. Good morning. Love that channel name. Got to check that out. Yeah, I've got the Santa hat on, because it's 50 degrees here with only a high of 60 today. So thank you. Appreciate that. Scrolling. Oh, Roy and Becky said they missed Ava this morning. It's too cold to get out of bed and turn the heater on. I hear that. So like I mentioned, we just got back from Quartzsite, and we hung out and camped in the spot up there with Roy and Becky, CR View. We also went up and visited Box Fan D, and I helped her install a camera on her car. This was a camera that was given to her in exchange for a installation video, so I helped her do that. We also met Badge, so I don't know if you know Badge, but looks like I need a little bit more light. Badge, everyone needs one, is is a great guy and always funny, has a good time. He's a mechanic and helps a lot of people. So we got to meet him face to face. RVing with G was up there, camped right next to us. And then Arizona Dan came down from Lake Havasu to say hello. So we got to meet him. And then the spot there is a bunch of YouTubers that are camped there. And so we got to meet a lot of them, including Randy, the mobile traveler. That was his area that he set up. And so got to meet him as well. So that was nice. We had a great time. Yep. Working on the coffee, Diane. That's good. No snow today. We're going to have lots of sun. So I've got the sun shovel ready to go in case it gets too deep here. Sometimes that happens. There's my sister, Tanya. Good morning, brother and everyone. Love you, sister. Hope you're doing well up there in northeastern Iowa where it's really cold. We complain about 30s down here, but down there, they're at 0. Everybody's saying hello. Lisa Chubby, another channel member, is here. Good morning. Good morning. Thanks for being here. Scrolling. Lillian is here. Good morning, Lillian. Lillian just celebrated a with her husband. They I think they went out and celebrated their anniversary recently, and she did a couple of short videos on her channel, and those were cute. Diane Phoenix says up to 28. Up to 28 there. High will be 36. So let's see where we're at. Hey Siri, what's the weather here?
It's currently clear and 42 degrees. Today's high will be 61 degrees. And the low will be 33 degrees.
All right, so not too bad. Now 33 is not bad unless you're camping. And then it's a little cold when you're out camping. Good morning, She Devil. Tommy, how you doing? We have a Grandma Kelly raid coming in. Thank you, everyone, very much. Appreciate that. Loving the buddy heater closer to the bed now. No more sub-zero freezing on the way to the bathroom. Yeah, I hear that. Hey, Roy, I actually ordered a buddy heater for the RV, and I'm going to test it out in the house to see how it works. But I've done a lot of research on it, and a lot of folks use it out there in the RV world in tent camping, so I'm going to try one out. The thing that can get expensive with those buddy heaters, if you use the green bottles, if you buy those bottles, they're kind of expensive because you can burn up a bottle every day. But I learned that you can refill them. So you can refill them from a 20-pound container with an adapter. And so that's what I'm doing. I'm refilling my own bottles. So we'll see how it works. Yeah, Badge rocks. You're right, Dan. he's a cool guy and just a nice guy all the way around. There's She Devil saying hello. Yeah, it's fun. Diane's passing out the donuts. Oh, love donuts. We have T-Rep Adventures here. Good morning. Grade level meeting. Can't chat much. Appreciate you stopping in very much. Appreciated. Feeling the love in here. Thank you all. We have a good group of folks. And I appreciate all my subscribers. And I appreciate everyone who's a channel member. It's much appreciated. Roy says it's 36 there still. So it's a little colder up there in Quartzsite than down here in Paradise. Uh-oh. Showing 4 here now. Heat wave. Tim says it's 42 with a 65. Now that 65 is pretty good for winter weather, isn't it, Tim? Diane says our low is 7, high of 13 on 23rd and Christmas Eve. That's cold. Of course, cold weather comes with Christmas. You know, I was watching a channel yesterday down in Australia, and you know, they celebrate Christmas there too, but they celebrate it in the heat. So it's hotter than heck down there right now, and they're celebrating Christmas. I can't get used to that. Hard to wrap my head around. I love it. I have it in the garage. Okay, that's good. Good to know. So I bought the medium size unit. I thought it was like a 5 to 8,000 BTUs, depending on if you put it on low or high. Yeah, I refill those green bottles. I sure do. That would be nice, huh? Buddy Heater needs to add a remote. That would be a great idea. Oh, yeah. You can get a long hose and use a tank on them. That's a good point, especially if you want to run it all night long, because is it true, Tim, that they only run for a couple hours on one of those tanks, depending on the setting? Ooh, we get to a high on Christmas Day of 18. I remember those days. Okie and I lived in some cold places in Nebraska. We lived in Omaha, Nebraska for 3 years. We lived up in Portland, New Hampshire for a year. We lived in Portsmouth, Virginia for 3 years. So we know what the cold looks like. Hey, there's RVing with G. Hi, G. Thanks for coming in. Yo. Hello, all. Like I mentioned earlier, G, we were camping with you up there in Quartzsite. Hope you're staying warm, and it was very nice to meet you while we were up there. You know, we see people on live streams all the time, and sometimes we share live streams when we're invited up on the panel. And it's really nice to walk up and shake someone's hand that you have seen a number of times on different live streams. So it was great to meet RVing with G. And we're going to head back up next month and spend some more time up there. So we're hoping to get back up there and see you again, G. Uh-oh. Blizzard warning here for Thursday, Tanya says. She's up in northeastern Iowa. Okie's correcting me. Portsmouth, New Hampshire, Hampton, Virginia is where we live. Portsmouth, New Hampshire. I had those all mixed up, didn't I? Fall's the best time for Dan, he says. No white Christmas for our down under friends. That's right. You know, it's interesting. I grew up here in Tucson, Arizona, and there's a mountain range north of Tucson, Catalina Mountains, and they just about always got snow around Christmas time. And so mom and dad would take us up there, and Tanya remembers this. My sister, Tanya, in the chat, she remembers this. Mom and dad would take us up there to go sledding on the mountain. And, you know, it's cold and snowy up there. And then we would put our bread bag over our shoes to keep our feet dry and kind of warm. Didn't help a lot, but you guys remember the old bread bag trip? Put it over your shoes. That's what we did when we were kids. And we'd go up and sled, and then we'd come back down into the valley of Tucson, and then back in the 60, 70 degree winter. Supposed to get snow, but hopefully not too much. Yikes, Tanya. Yeah, she lives up there in cold country, but it's a beautiful area up there. They have the Cedar River that runs right through there, her town there. Buddy heater are safe to run all night. Yeah. And I understand you have to keep a window cracked open a little bit, which we do anyway. So Tim says about 4 to 5 on high and 7 to 8 on low. We'll use a green bottle up on mine. Okay. The Bad Idea Lab is here. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you for joining us. Buddy heaters work way better on a 20-pound tank. We have 2 that are over 20 years old. They spent their lives on 20-pound tanks. We seem to have issues with the little green tanks. Okay. All right. So I have an adapter for my griddle for a 20-pound tank. I wonder if that adapter will work for the Buddy heater also. That's a good question. So Tommy's here, She Devil Adventures. Is the Buddy heater better than the Wave heaters? Which heats better? So if anyone wants to weigh in on that, we can answer Tommy's question. So the Wave heater, I think, is a more expensive heater. Omaha can be cold as heck. Yeah, you're right about that. And it was. Always wanted to go to New Hampshire and Maine. They are beautiful. So when we were up in New Hampshire, we only spent about 9 months there. We went up into the mountains up there, especially during the fall, and boy, oh boy, is it beautiful. Crafty Travelers here. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you for joining us. All right. They're the same, She Devil. The Wave is slow heat and the Buddy is fast heat. Okay. That's good to know, Roy. Thank you. So if it's slow heat, maybe it uses a little bit less. Saying hello to Lanny. And She Devil got the information. Thank you. There is Ron Darrell. Ron Darrell's Adventures. He's coming up. So be sure to stop by. We try to don't last very long on our feet. Yeah, that's right. And so, oh, Tanya remembers, my sister Tanya, the round metal sleds, death machines. That's right. But boy, you couldn't wear them out. You could scrape all the paint off the bottom, but those round metal sleds, which you can't get anymore, they're all plastic now. All right. G says, I use a hose on a 20-pound tank with my Buddy heater. I loaned out my heater to Sue. It was 31 here this morning. Uh-oh. Sue is nice and warm, though, G. And I guess that's good for Sue. Not so good for you. No worries, Lillian. Do not fall for the needing a filter for the 20-pounders. Never use one in 20 years. Always start on high for a few minutes. Okay, Roy, that's good to know. Put them on high for a few minutes. Because do they get carboned up or something? I don't know. I'm a rookie when it comes to that. We have Michigan and Carol here. Good morning. Good morning. Well, yeah, I understand, Tim. Go to sleep early and then get up when it's too cold to sleep. Then I'll run the heater while awake. You know, you're in a van, Tim, so you're in a much smaller space too. So I can understand your caution. A propane adapter should work. I'm going to try that. And I'll test it here at home base before we head back out. Okay, so G has a Wave 3 heater too. G, what do you prefer? Do you like the Wave 3 heater or do you prefer the Buddy heater? Diane says, I had the fan on last night. Woke up with my backside frozen. Oh my gosh. G says a Wave heater will not put out the condensation that a Buddy heater does. Okay. Because when you're using propane, you get a lot of condensation inside your rig. So Lillian saying hello. I think the green tanks empty and lose pressure more often because it causes buildup in the heater. Okay. That's good to know. Treasure Hunter is here. Good morning. Good morning. Thanks for joining us. Joy is here. Good morning, Joy. Merry Christmas. Remember the reason for the season. Bad Idea says wife got up and zipped up the tent window outside. Ooh, Creede, Colorado. Ventilation is very important. Yep, it sure is. Marshall is here. Good morning. Good morning, Marshall. Good to see you. Good to see you. So, Marshall's channel, the Facebook group, he put a Facebook group together which has the information for our meetup. So, we have the 2023 Arizona Ironwood meetup, February 2nd through the 6th. So, if you're down here in southern Arizona, inside the monument where we live, be sure to stop by our little meetup out here. And he has a Facebook group titled 2023 Arizona Ironwood Meetup if you want more information. He's also got a great blog if you're interested in learning how to move into nomadic life. Marshall is the expert and has a great blog for showing you and teaching you what you need to do. Everybody's saying hello. Merry Christmas. James is here. Good morning, James. Thank you for joining us. It's all great information. Yeah. And I like how we use each other because a lot of people have knowledge that they can share. And what better place to learn than to ask your friends here on YouTube? There is Arizona Dan. Just talking about you earlier, Dan. Good to see you. Good to shake your hand, meet you face to face up in Quartzsite. And we hope to see you again at Box Fan D's meetup. Good morning, Shalom. Doesn't anyone use O-rated or mummy sleeping bags anymore? I think so, but they're very expensive now. In fact, we're looking for some for the kids for using, even at home when it's cold in the wintertime, you always have cold spots in your house. So our grandkids are interested in those. Running it on high for a few minutes just heats up the ceramic more evenly and burns off the impurities. Okay, that's good to know. So put the buddy heater on high to start off with, and then turn it down. All right, use a regular propane camp stove, no adapter. Okay. You printed it, yeah. I have prints here, and I like to show them off on the live streams for anyone that might be down here. Bad Idea Lab says we rigged an adapter for the 5-gallon tanks to Dad's RV. Works great, and they don't have to take it to get propane when they run out of the big tank. And I think Roy did that too. He did an adapter on his RV. Tim says, I can't sleep with the 0-degree mummy bag. Got too hot. Yeah, I could see that. Everybody's saying hello. Oh, you're welcome, Marshall. You're welcome. Be sure to check out mellownomadicadventures.com, and he's got a great blog out there. Scrolling. My gosh, we have 24 people here. I really appreciate everyone being here today. All right. I'm going to try to catch up here. Going down. I layer up so I don't have to zip in. Bought mine in the Army Navy surplus. Now that's an idea. Yeah, that's a good idea to get them in a military surplus store. And being in the military, I know you get good equipment. It's called Extend a Stay. We now bring propane to our RV instead of going to town to get it. Yeah, that's a great idea. Great idea. So we were camping up there in Quartzsite, and I wanted to share a couple of videos with you. This is the spot where we were camped. This is the day that we arrived, and so there aren't as many people there next to us, but I put the drone up, and my little drone here, I put it up and got some video of the campsite where we were camped there in Quartzsite. And this is in La Posa South. Let me get rid of that comment first. Then I go back to my videos. So I have a couple of things to share with you about our trip to Quartzsite. Here is the first one called The Spot.
I'm so high, so high. They told me to sit back, don't make a sound, don't go to the unknown, but I'm too curious for that. Might be a little crazy, I don't mind. I like the way it feels. No need to set off the.
So that's in La Posa South there, and a nice little area. The good thing is they have a dump station, they have water, they have trash service, and you can camp there for a couple weeks for $40, and that's what we did. So Joy is saying when we get a van for camping, we might go to the D meetup, but it's a bit too far now to try to take the big old RV fuel prices, and it bounces me like a bumble. Yeah, understand that. Gas prices have come down some, but it's still expensive. Tim says, I layer clothes and sleep under a regular sleeping bag, more sufficient for sub-freezing temperatures. If it gets too cold, get up and make some coffee. Oh, that's my neighbor. So I'm going to call her back after a while. She's obviously not in the live stream chat, otherwise she would know I'm not available. But I'll call her back. Works like a charm. So, Tim is one of those guys that has a van, and he builds it and camps in it. So be sure to check his channel out. He's really good at van builds and camping out there. So he has a lot of great ideas, and he modifies his van to meet his needs. So G says Goodwill stores have blankets, and sometimes you can find down comforters. That's a good point, G. Oki and I stop by the Goodwill stores quite often. I would enjoy meeting some people, but I don't do big meetups. And what I do, Diane, is I won't camp right in the middle of a meetup. We'll kind of camp on the outer fringe of the camp area. And then we'll go over in the evening and join everyone on around the campfire, and chit chat and maybe drink a beer or two. And all right, she just left a message, so I'll get back to her. Ron says $200 on propane yesterday. Yeah, it's like $3.30 a gallon here, and we heat the house with propane, which can get very expensive. We have a 200-gallon tank outside, but filling ours is almost $500 now. So we run electric heaters most of the time In fact, I have one in here warming this room up. Yeah, it's expensive. You must have some 20-pound bottles there. Yep, coffee on 24/7. Still rather camp in my tents. Nothing wrong with that. We tent camped for years, and the new tents that they have now are very comfortable. Roy says, with these gas prices, honey may never see the other side of the Mississippi River. I hear you. Well, at least you found a good state to stay in, Roy and Becky. So we're certainly glad you're here. Oh, wait, I missed that. We do private meetups, she said. Okay, so Joy says, I do mostly small private meetups with friends who visit the Smokies. Big meetup does make me anxious. Yeah. That does me too, because you know, like at the spot, there's a lot of people up there. Uh-oh. We have a we have a group chat here. The pump. Let's see here. Karen, I need help with my anyone home who can give me some guidance. The pump won't stop running, but I have no water. Okay, that's my neighbor. She shares a well with us. So, folks, I'm going to jump off of here and go help my neighbor. Sorry, I'm going to shut this down and call her back. She's out of water and her pump is running, so she's trying to figure out what's going on. So I'm going to close this live down and go help my neighbor Karen. So thanks everybody for being here. She's an older lady and she needs help. So thank you very much for being here. I'm going to call her right back and we'll see you next time. Thanks again.